every person in corporate America, anybody in relationships who wants to keep their relationships, they should read this book because it is the how-to framework into having the hard conversations.
Here's what I tell people. People say they need more confidence, and most of us don't need more confidence. We need audacity.
We don't need more confidence. We need more audacity.
Working harder is the biggest trap known to man.
Are women finding it harder to speak up and have the hard conversations more so than men?
The question is, how do I not get cheated on again? And sometimes the answer you don't want to hear is not be with that person.
What is the biggest thing you see as with leaders and how they're not leading well?
The biggest thing with leaders where they miss leading well is they forget that leaders are meant to supply versus meant to do.
Because you say in the book, you said, don't aim to be comfortable, aim to be clear.
Comfort is what keeps conflict going.
Oof.
It is.
Comfort is what keeps conflict going. Welcome to Vaughn Empowers Talk, so we don't just scratch the surface. We dive deep into the lives of some of the world's most influential change makers. I'm your host, Brandi Harvey. Now, y'all know the magic happens when the super friends enter the chat. Dethra Giles, she is a 4-time TEDx speaker, global consultant, executive coach, and the CEO of ExecuPrep, where she has trained and advised leaders across Procter & Gamble, the CDC, the United States Army, Harvard, and companies in more than 20 countries. Known for her unfiltered wisdom and razor-sharp frameworks, Dethra blends research, real-world experience, and cultural insight to help professionals break ceilings, build influence, and lead with intention. Her viral content on workplace culture, equity, and personal mastery has reached millions, and her groundbreaking book, That's Not What I Said, challenges readers to stop waiting for approval and step boldly into authority. Vaughn Empowers Talks welcome a powerhouse in leadership, culture transformation, and human performance, Dethra Giles, to the show.
Crazy because I've seen this several times and everyone sits here and says the same thing. That's me. And I'm like, that's not going to be me. I'm not going to be that person. I am going to do it totally differently. And here I am like, Dad.
That's you.
That's me.
I mean, as fabulous as you are, I mean, first of all, let's just get into the pieces. Can we get into the pieces? Can we get into the pieces? You are always so fabulous. And you and I have become friends over the last 2 years.
Mm-hmm.
Through our mutual friend, Patrice Washington.
Yes.
And I told you when we were off camera, I said, you are the human resource friend.
I'm like, I write about it, I teach it in university, but I'm this way in real life. Like, this is really who I am.
Yes, in real life. I mean, I'm sitting up here like, when I was reading your book, and that's not what I said. I told you before, I said every person in corporate America, anybody in relationships who wants to keep their relationships, they should read this book because it is the how-to framework into having the hard conversations.
Yes, and the reason it's so important and critical is because this is the problem that's causing us the most problem. We think it's the fights that we have that are the issue. It's the ones that we don't have that are causing us the most problems. The things that we know we need to say, but we're scared to say it. We don't have the formula to do it, and we're holding that stuff in. So it either blows up, never goes away, or it actually kills us.
Yeah, it actually kills us. I mean, there's so many stats that you drop in the book. I mean, workplaces in America are losing $359 billion a year because they are not having hard conversations.
This is the thing I tell people to do. When you think about that, sounds crazy. Like, that's almost $400 billion. It's so easy when you think about it. Think about every single one of us has been in the room where there was a bad idea being proposed, and we knew it was going to cost time, money, and it was going to fail, and we didn't say a word.
Yeah.
Every single one of us. And when you put those numbers together, you're like, wait a minute, maybe that $400 billion is lower because it's probably more than that because the one I was in was $1 million project. The one I was in was a $100,000 project. And if all of us have that story, that's a lot of money simply because we didn't say anything.
Yeah. Over 85% of people are sitting in workplaces and they witness misconduct and don't say anything.
Not a word. Here's the deal. Because they don't know how to say it without either getting in trouble, getting retaliated against, or flipping the tables over, right? We go to one extreme or the other. Either I'm going to be quiet or I'm going to burn this whole thing down. And so we don't know how to be in the middle where I can say something and still keep my integrity, keep my job, and get the problem fixed. And they need a formula.
Yeah, they need a formula. Are women finding it harder to speak up and have the hard conversations more so than men?
Absolutely. And it's because historically we've been labeled for doing things like that. If you think about the first insert of leadership for women, it was all how to lead like a man. I remember being in this industry
Yeah.
and there was leadership courses and how to lead like a man, how to show up like a man in the corporate world. And so we've been taught either you show up like a man or you're a wimp.
Yeah.
How you lead is not okay. And then we're afraid of being labeled. You might get labeled as angry. You might get labeled a bitch. And one of the things I tell my women is there's a time and place for everything, including being a bitch, right? And the reason we don't lean into it and get stuff done is because we're so afraid of that label. They're going to label you anyway.
Yeah.
I tell people you're damned if you do, you're damned if you don't. So pick the damn that you can live with.
Yeah.
And the one that I can live with is having my voice be heard and not being maligned.
I mean, I remember when I was the executive director of my family's foundation, and I was much younger, right? So I'm going to pass some of my bad behavior off to youth, Dethra. But there were so many times that I wanted to mirror what I saw the men in the building doing. And because of that, it was like, then I had, people would say, well, you need to use your feminine wiles more, and you need to step into your femininity and be more like a woman. But then in order to get stuff done, I got to lay the hammer down, and I got to cuss some of y'all Negroes out because y'all don't understand how to move when I'm nice. So it's a fine line that we're walking sometimes.
It's a very fine line, but there is a feminine way to cuss somebody out.
Tell me. Because I turned Detroit gangster. I turned Cleveland gangster, okay? When it's time, DJ, you would not know it's a woman saying this stuff.
But I can tell you I have turned more stuff around with a smile and a nod than with a good cuss out because...
yeah, for sure.
You already know I come from a gladiator family. We can use our words. And I have gotten more accomplished when I came in with the nicey nice.
For sure. I learned that as I've gotten older. I did not know, I didn't have that trait in my 20s and my early 30s. But now at this big age, I've learned that that is the way to go. But you said in the book that you come from a line of verbal gladiators and that it was dating your husband in college that transformed the way you communicated.
It's crazy because we have been together for 27 years and have been married 24 of those. And to this date, we have not called each other out of our names and we have not raised our voices at each other.
Y'all ain't throwing no stuff.
We don't
Y'all
throw
ain't be over there throwing stuff. Yeah. I love that for you.
Somebody say, tell me how. And it's crazy because when people are shocked for me, I'm like, me too. It started, I remember we were dating, we were in undergrad. And we were dating and we had our first argument. And I come from a family where we yell, we scream, we call names. We will use words like a very fine, sharpened sword. And so the first argument, I raised my voice and this man looked at me like I had 50 heads and every single one of them was spinning.
Yeah.
And he looked at me and said, what are you doing? And I was like, we
arguing.
We arguing. We have a disagreement. We about to solve this right here. Let's go. And he was like, oh, not like that.
Yeah.
But then how we do this? And I was so intrigued because I knew I didn't like being called names. Didn't like yelling, but I didn't have an alternative. No one gave me another option. And in my mind, that was normal. That was just how things went. And when he said, not like that. Now, mind you, his parents had been married forever. So you've seen this model before. My mom was a single mom, so I never saw a relationship.
Yeah.
I never saw this model. And so I'm like, well, explain. Tell me more. How do we do this? And the thing that started this journey was he knew it existed. He couldn't teach it to me. All he could say is what we don't do. And so I had to learn it. So I was like, wait a minute. If I don't know it, there are people who were raised like I was raised, and they want to learn it too. And so I went on even getting a master's degree in conflict management. I went on a full journey to learn how to do it and then how to teach other people.
I mean, you've done 4 TEDx talks. You were like my biggest supporter when I did my first one. She was like, you gonna be fine. I done 4. You gonna get your 1. Go ahead and do your 1, baby.
Everybody got to start somewhere.
Everybody got to start. Listen. But you speak all over the world. I mean, recently you were just in South Africa. I mean, every time I talk to you, you're in a new country, leading a team on how to communicate better, what is the biggest thing you see as with leaders and how they're not leading well?
The biggest thing with leaders where they misleading well is they forget that leaders are meant to supply versus meant to do. They often think, because here's how leadership works. You get promoted for being good at what you do. And no one tells you that when I'm promoting you so you can make more of you, not get on the nerves of people who you lead. Right? Because that's what it's like, why are you micromanaging me? You in my space? And it's like
Yeah.
the leader's job is to make sure their people have the resources to do the best they can possibly do. And they think, I need to do more of what I've always done. And that's where they mess it up. They mess it up because they keep trying to do instead of trying to provide.
Trying to do whether and not trying to provide.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so in your book, you give a model. You have the DARE model. But one of the things that you talk about in the book is that people are reacting rather than responding.
Mm-hmm.
And that's where the real conflict happens.
So here's the issue. Getting into the little geeky brain science. When we get aroused, upset, the part of our brain that thinks the hardest, our prefrontal cortex, it shuts down. When you're reacting, your brain is like, I'm aroused. The part of me that thinks is shutting down. That's why when you're in an argument and you're like, I know I'm smart, I'm about to get a good witty response, brain don't fail me now, and you're trying to think of the best thing to say to get at them, and you're like, your mama.
Yeah.
Because the thinking part of your brain shut down. And 30 minutes later, you have the best comeback. Because now it's back online. Well, that's what happens when you react. When you respond, you're proactive. I'm strategic. I'm pausing. Let me think this through. I'm thinking all the way to the end of that conversation. And I remember, this is a relationship I want to keep. So cussing them out and saying your mama might not be the best result. That's a response versus a reaction.
Now I know. It's some people who they've gone through the holidays and they've been doing a whole lot of reacting. They ain't been responding. They actually started in November to get their reactions ready for the Thanksgiving, the Christmas, how I'm gonna wear you out on New Year, all the things. I mean, you said in the book you can help people have the conversation to get the negotiation, to negotiate a better pay.
Absolutely.
But you can also help you have the conversation with the pedophile at Thanksgiving.
Listen to me. So I remember when the R. Kelly situation was going on and everyone was talking about the R. Kellys and it was around Thanksgiving was coming up. And I said, some of y'all haven't even addressed the R. Kelly in your family and you concerned about what's going to happen with him. You talking about we shouldn't play his music no more and you still taking your daughter around Uncle Ben. Like,
well, don't call him Ben.
But not Ben. Don't use Ben. Ben is good. We love Ben. we love our nephew. We love our nephew.
Get
Uncle Bob. With Uncle Bob.
use Ben.
You talking about don't play his music and you still taking your daughters around Uncle Bob.
Yeah.
Like, when you're going to have that conversation, and it's because we don't know how. Most of us have not been trained to bring this up. And so instead of addressing, we avoid.
Yeah.
And we make the wrong people pay the price for the problem.
We make the wrong people pay the price.
Yes.
We sure do.
So you shouldn't have your little 5-year-old niece having to figure out how to stay around from Uncle Bob
how to navigate.
Because he always got candy. Why don't I? It's a relative that got candy. Why
He's so nice.
He's
so funny.
Nice.
And
he want to take me places in the car with him. I want to go places.
Yeah.
Because when they come back with Uncle Bob, they always got stuff.
Yeah.
Right? But we're making a 5-year-old little girl pay the price for his sins. It's not okay. But we don't know how because someone made us pay the price. Yeah. We're telling her what we were told. And so I want people to have the tools and the formula to say, wait a minute, let's stop. Let's describe what's going on. Let's acknowledge what's happened. Let's review the narratives and let's engage for conversation.
You talk about like the tough conversations you had to have with your family at the holiday gathering.
Absolutely. Because I'm that person like, no, we're not doing this. We're not. And I had to find my own voice because outside the house, baby, I'm a bulldog. But inside, you can't say, what you gonna say to your grandma?
Oh, God, Dethra.
You can't say nothing sideways to grandma.
I mean, you can, but.
You can. And you know what's funny to me? When people say, oh, I can't cut people off, that's my family. When I'm coaching people, I notice the cutoff gets real easy when they have their own kids.
Mm.
When it's my child in danger, I'll cut my mama off real quick.
Yeah.
Uncle Bob, and instead of saying, let's address him, we'll say, well, we can't go around. I'm going to go to my husband's family. No, you not. You at home.
Yeah.
You just don't want to have to kill him if he touch your baby because you know how he is.
Yeah. I mean, it becomes so hard when we're navigating because so many of us are really in that fight, that flight, that freeze, that fawn state.
Yeah.
All the time.
All the time. And what we don't realize is we learned that when we were young.
Yeah.
So we're just big kids doing what we learned at 5. So if at 5 you learn when it's dangerous, I get quiet. Or if at 5 you learn I flip tables when it gets dangerous, that's what you're doing as an adult. You just found a professional way to do it at work.
I feel like that when I was reading that, the avoidance, I have definitely embodied a lot of that practice. You know, my dad is not a conflict person. And people would think that he's probably going to be more he is not like conflict person. And I have adapted that same trait. So my sister, she turning tables. Baby,
I'm about to say, Carly is flipping tables.
She flipping tables. I'm quiet. I done got quiet.
But you know what? It's the quiet ones who are the most dangerous. Because of the ones that'll talk, I'll see you coming. It's the quiet ones that's like, I've had enough, and I'm just going to kill everybody. And I'm still going to do it quietly. I'm going to kill all of y'all quietly. I'm not going to say a word. It's going to be slashing, and then I'm going to go sit back down with blood all over and be like, everything is fine.
Just a sociopath.
Yes. Because the quiet people always let you push them to the brink. You've pushed me too far, and now it's something to do but turn into the Incredible Hulk.
Yeah.
Because I was the mild-mannered Bruce Banner until you pushed me.
Yeah. My brother Broderick is that way. Like, if he gets, you're like, okay, this shit done turned. Okay, because B done got lit. Okay, what just happened? Y'all, everybody needs to shut up.
Yes, let it go.
Yeah, everybody needs to cut it out. I mean, but it's so true because so much of our relationships are really, they end because we haven't learned how to properly communicate with one another.
And everything escalates. That's why, like, the first step, describe versus interpret, our minds jump to interpretation, and we so quickly take data and turn it into something that it isn't, right?
Yeah.
Because we think we're using the same words. The example I always use is always. The word always, when I ask people, what % of the time is always for you? Now, people will say 100%. That's not true. What is your definition of always? I get ranges from 50% to 95%. With the 95% person talking to the 50% person, they're using the same words, and now they're in conflict because they haven't described. I want you to do that 95% of the time, not I always want you to do that. And that's where it happens.
That's definitely where it happens because you say in the book, you said, don't aim to be comfortable, aim to be clear.
Comfort is what keeps conflict going. People often... It is.
Comfort is what keeps conflict going. Yeah.
Because people want to be comfortable and now they're pissed. And I learned this when I was doing divorce mediations. People will get to divorce mediation and they're arguing about something that they've been arguing about for the last 20 years. But they've never really had the argument because they stopped when it got uncomfortable. And so we stop right where we agree. Oh, we agree on pretty much everything. Okay, well, let's keep going. Except now I'm bringing up something that has been an issue for me for the past 20 years because we never really had the conversation because it was uncomfortable. And now we're divorcing.
Have you been able to keep relationships together when they get to that part?
I have. And this is really where I got pushed to say, wait, there's something here. There's something I'm supposed to be doing because I would be in these divorce mediations or I would be in these conflicts and think, if I had just taught you all how to disagree, we wouldn't be here. We either wouldn't be here or it wouldn't be this bad. I've had divorced couples come back and end up remarried because of what we started talking about. It's like we never talked about that before, and that's the real issue. And now I've had divorced couples come in there at odds and walk out like, we could have a conversation now.
Yeah, because we don't know how to disagree.
We don't.
Okay, how do we learn how to disagree with each other?
First of all, everyone thinks take the emotion out of it. I'm like, you can't. We are emotional beings.
Every time people say that, well, this is not about emotions. This is not personal.
Is.
It's business.
It is.
I showed up as a person in the business. How does not personal?
Because people say, oh, well, you don't bring your emotions to work. Well, how many of you have done a job you don't like? Like is an emotion. How many of you have had a bad day? That's an emotion. There are things you like, there are things you dislike. We are emotional beings. But what we need to do is put the emotion and the data together, right? So if I say, I always want you to do that, and that's 95% of the time to me, I can say, I don't like doing that 95% of the time.
Mm-hmm.
What I can do for you is give you a good 60. Are we okay with that, right? We need to bring the data and the emotions together, and that's how we begin to start this process.
I mean, this is real applied, technique, because you've been married for how long?
24 years.
You just celebrated 24 years.
In a couple months, May will be 25 years.
Yeah. I mean, 25 years, you got 2 children. They be trying you, though. They so funny. The stories I see from your Insta stories just let me know that they have learned how to communicate properly with the queen of communication.
Baby, so one of the things I teach in negotiations, I tell people, no is not the end of the conversation, it's the beginning of the negotiations.
Yeah.
And my kids live by that. I'm like, no, well, how about, what could make this answer yes? What do I need to do? What does yes mean to you? I'm like, don't do that. Don't do me to me. I do this for a living. Don't do me to me, right? But I've also taught them how to navigate conflict. I remember my daughter and her boyfriend had a little skiff, and because she was teaching him about his finances, like, okay, you want to take us on a trip? What's the budget for the trip? And he felt some kind of way, and I heard her say to him, well, call me when you're ready to settle down, and we'll have this conversation. And he called her back and said, I apologize because you asking me those questions pointed out a deficiency for me, and it triggered me. And she said, that's wonderful. I'm glad you came back and apologized, but we still need to talk about the budget for that trip.
Because, baby, he going to have a budget. The aunties done already said, baby, where's his budget? What are we doing? The aunties know that we don't need to hear no updates at the Super Friends brunch that he didn't have a budget.
Because we will find you.
Yeah. So you say in the book, and I want you to talk about, what's the difference between being liked, being respected, and being paid, and why do so many women pick the wrong one?
So many women pick liked. Because comfort. I want to be liked. And what I see it the most in is in people in their professional career, especially when it's time to elevate. You got that one person in the group, they get a promotion. Oh, you acting different. Because I'm paid different.
Baby, there will be signs. When the checks hit,
you hear me?
There will be signs.
When I come in the office with shades on, don't look me in my eyes. I'm different today.
I'm different. Please know. I'm different. Yeah.
But I want my friends to like me. And so I let certain things slide. I don't step into who I am now. I don't step into what I need to be. I've seen people get promoted and lose their jobs because they wanted to be liked. And they couldn't fully step into, I do have to hold people accountable now. I can't be out at lunch late with you all. Listen, I know you and Shonda clock each other in because you ain't here. I can't let that slide. And they want to be liked so much that they get in trouble for being liked.
Oof. So then how do we get paid?
Let me tell you something. First of all, getting paid means knowing what you are worth. I find, and not knowing what you're worth inside it, like on paper. I find that so many people really don't know what their skills are worth in the market. For example, from an HR perspective, if you are not making or saving that company 2 to 10 times your salary, you're going to get fired. And so ask yourself, am I making this company 2 to 10 times my salary? And if that's the case, what percentage of that should I be getting in my salary? You can go to something like as easy as like salary.com and find out your location, your skill set, your title, and it'll tell you what the range for your salary should be from low to high end, and you can see where you fall on that. So when you go and ask for a raise, no one cares that you've been at the company for 20 years.
Yeah.
That is not a reason to get a raise. What you can do, though, is be able to say, hey, this is what I've contributed. This is what I contributed last year. Here's what I did this year. Here's what I brought into the company. Here's my ROI and your investment in my salary. This is what I should be paid.
Yeah. Why are we afraid to ask for less than what we deserve?
Because we don't have audacity. Here's what I tell people. People say they need more confidence, and most of us don't need more confidence. We need audacity, right? We don't. We
don't need more confidence. We need more audacity.
Confidence is data. right? Confidence is information, it's data. You know you have a degree. You know you graduated top of your class. You know your boss is stupid and you doing their job for them. You know your coworkers hadn't done a lick of work. You know your stuff. You don't have the audacity to let everybody else know. It's
Yeah.
like I tell people the easy way to look at it is, I will wear something crazy and rock it like it's normal. And people, oh my gosh, Deidre, that's so cute. I wish I could wear it. Knowing it's cute is confidence. Wearing it is audacity.
Mm.
And most people just don't have audacity.
Ooh, that is a bar, honey. That is dropped on mic right there. Because I think that is the thing. I mean, we have these conversations when we're together, Super Friends Brunch. We talk about what we're asking for. We talk about how to ask for more. There's so many ways that we have these conversations. But I don't know if we're really leaning into that as women sometimes.
We're not. We're bound by what others told us we should be, and we try to live in that. And we live in a state of hope. And I tell people, hope was a great campaign slogan. It's a horrible career strategy. Right? I hope I'll work my behind off and people will recognize it and they'll promote me. I hope that working hard is enough. I hope that getting another degree, another certification, going on the AI stint, I hope, and then I'll get promoted.
Yeah.
All the while, people sitting next to you, they hadn't done a thing. They graduated good lordy and barely that, and they are moving past you and you're wondering what's happening. Audacity is happening.
You tell the story in the book, and you tell the story of that to that point of a young lady who was sitting in this job, wanted a promotion, had been there for years, saw her counterparts who had been there for less time get promoted. And she's like, well, she thought if she just worked harder, and it's not about working harder.
Working harder is the biggest trap known to man. People think if I just work a little bit harder, listen to me, some of y'all, if you work harder, you're going to die. You have nothing left to give.
Yeah.
And you have given of yourself, you have given of the piece of you that belongs to your family and your children. You have given all there. You have nothing left to give. What else you going to give? A kidney? A liver? Like, there is not working harder. There is finding the people that will spread your name, knowing what your brand is, and finding that person that will take your brand into rooms that you can't enter. That's how it works. Like I tell people all the time, everyone knows of a job they wanted to apply for, and I didn't get the job because they already knew who they wanted, and now I'm mad. That's not why you're mad. You're mad because who they wanted wasn't you. Because you would have been fine if you were the person they knew they wanted.
Baby, it would have been no problem.
Like even I talk to, even in our community, the Black community, I talk about nepotism. Oh, we want nepotism to go away. No, we don't. We want our kids to benefit.
Yeah.
We don't want it to go away. And so now let's learn how to shift the tables. How do my children benefit from nepotism? How do I get my name on the that's who I want list? How do I have someone going to HR and saying, listen, I'm about to open this job. I want Brandi.
Yeah.
How do we do that? That's what we need to learn how to do.
I mean, as we navigate a global landscape and you work with so many Fortune 500, Fortune 100 companies, and you're going in to revamp leadership, what is the difference that you're seeing as an employee in the United States versus those abroad?
So what's very interesting is abroad, companies are still focused on people. They are actually looking at AI to enhance the people. How do we use AI to make our people better? In the U.S., I've noticed we're looking at AI like how to replace these people.
Yeah.
How do we get them out of the way? And we're not saying that. We're like, oh no, AI isn't going to replace
it's not gonna
people.
Replace your job. Yeah.
And here's the truth. AI is not going to replace everyone's job. And I'm telling everyone, learn it, because the people right now, the people that know AI,
they're the ones.
They're the ones.
It's going to take your job.
You know prompting, you know stuff, that's who's going to get your job. But abroad, people are saying, we still care about people. Let's talk about this because this AI is going to enhance them. And over here, we're like, how can we get as few people as possible so we can make more money?
I mean, to what you do to enhance workplace culture, to transform leadership, what is the biggest thing that we're missing that we need?
Oh my gosh. What we are missing is the ability to have the tough conversations where we started. We are missing, like when you are forming a team, there's formations of a team. It's forming, storming, norming, performing, right? Everybody loves forming, but that storming part, everyone wants to skip past. The storming part is where you recognize who you are. What is the culture of this actual team? What are our rules of engagement?
Yeah.
How do we get work done? How do we treat our customers? And where do we get the best ideas? The best ideas come in the midst of conflict, but everyone wants to jump past the storming phase. And it's crazy when I go and I take them back. Like, I came to create chaos. I came because you skip the things that happen in that chaos to get to the real performing stage. You're not performing, you're just operating. You're not overperforming, you're not elevating, you're not getting anything new or better. You are just coasting because you haven't sat in the chaos long enough to get the best outcome.
You got to sit in the chaos.
You have to. And that's why I teach people how to have conflict, because if you try to avoid it, you won't get the good stuff. Sit in it and do it well so it can be productive and effective. And when I say you get the best outcomes, I just came back from South Africa working with an organization. And when they taught their lower level people how to engage in conflict, they came up with a multi-million-dollar idea. They didn't feel comfortable enough to say before, the way we're doing this is not working. I do this every day. You're a leader, but I'm on the floor. Listen to me. When they got the confidence to do that, why didn't you say something before? Because I didn't know how before.
Yeah.
I didn't know how to cause chaos because this is going to upheave everything. We're going to have to figure it out. And when the dust settles, we have $1 million idea.
Wow. I mean, what do you tell to the older folks, the more seasoned folks who are listening, who say, this is just how I am. I'm just set in my ways.
You know what's funny is when I do communications training, I put an acronym on the board and I make the class figure out what the acronym means. And it stands for knowing who you are does not give you permission to act that way. And people will lean in, well, you know how I am. Well, you know how you are. And you know it's problematic. Fix that. Don't make me pay the price for your problem. You know it doesn't work. And so knowing who you are doesn't give you permission to act that way. And so I asked them, baby, what was the last result you got when you did that? How did that work out for you? Your kids don't even want to be around you because they're like, you did it to me, you're not going to do it to my kids. So you can't even get access to your grandkids because that's just how you are.
Ooh. I mean, you got to implement boundaries to have this type of response and this way of living. And so what boundary did you have to implement to elevate your career?
You know what? I had to tell some people who were very close to me, family members, you no longer have access to this part of my life.
Yeah.
This is how a cousin the other day sent me something. Hey, and I always know when it's going to happen because he started off with the, girl, how you doing? And he go a couple days. Now, he good with it, about a week. And well, you know, if you got a little extra to spare, can you send me something? And I said, I ain't got it. And please don't text me anymore asking me for money.
And you said that?
Absolutely. And furthermore, if that means you don't text me at all, I'm okay with that.
You said that part?
Absolutely.
Furthermore.
Comma.
Transitional words.
But I live this stuff in real life.
Yeah.
I'm not afraid to have the hard conversations because here's what I know. People are like, well, you're cutting off your cousin. What does that mean for you? You love them? I love them, but I love me more.
I love me more.
And when you do this, it makes me feel some kind of way. Because here's the reality. I feel bad telling you, no, you're my older cousin. You set the stage. You were the first to go in my family go off to college. I was the second. You set the paveway. It was funny because there was a time when I was like, I got to go to Howard. And I never thought the reality was he went to Howard. And it set something in me. But here's the reality. I love me more. And so I'm not going to keep having these bad feelings every time we have an encounter. So if I could avoid that bad feeling and that means you never contacted me again, it is what it is.
Ooh. That I already know is making people feel some type of way, Dethra.
I know. It's going to be, she cut off her family.
She cut off her family, girl. I can't even trust her, baby. She don't even like her family.
Yeah, but I can't trust you because you let your family abuse you while you talk about you have boundaries.
I'm just next caller. Listen, I mean, you say that about your family. I mean, there's a lot of unlearning that you've had to do.
A lot. And it was a journey I wanted to go on because here's one thing we often don't acknowledge. When we have the way our family is and we accept it, what we often don't say is, I never liked that.
Yeah.
I never liked that. I knew how to scream, I knew how to yell, and baby, I could still go toe to toe. But I always knew I didn't like it. So even now, when my family gets to screaming, all right, y'all, I'm out. Let everybody get your stuff. Listen, I'm color purple. Oh, time to go.
Yeah, yeah.
I can't do it anymore because I always knew I didn't like it, and I've been delivered from it. I refuse to go back.
Yeah.
Refuse to go back.
And anybody who is around you, if they've been around you for more than 5 minutes, know you have this very peaceful, very calm vibe about you. I mean, it's very few people I want to do mountain trips with. And baby, this one, we done been to the mountains together. So this ain't no play, okay?
We friends in real life.
We friends in real life, you know? And she worked the whole time now.
Because I was finishing off the book.
She was... I mean, we got to talk about this because here is being held to the fire. Here is having tough conversations even in your own life.
Yes.
Because when Dethra was talking about this book, she dropped it in our Super Friends chat.
Yes.
She asked to be held accountable. One of our friends, Patrice Washington, who's been on the show, Dethra said she wasn't going to shop.
Y'all, I'm a shopaholic.
Until she got this book done. She was in Miami, posted something on her Insta story. And Patrice reaches out to her friend who was with her and said, she better not buy nothing while she there.
It was crazy. So, y'all, we in Miami. I'm relaxing. My girl said, hey, I've seen you been traipsing. Let's come meet me in Miami. Let's chill for a second because we both need a break. Go to Miami. We out there in the bikinis. I post, chilling with my girl. She looks at me and she says, hey, do you know Patrice Washington? I said, yeah. She said, she just sent me a text, said, hey, you don't know me. I'm Detra's other friend. She not supposed to be shopping. Make sure she don't shop. I was like, okay, Shirley.
Because she was like, I was literally about to go shopping.
I was.
She said,
because I had enough.
Yeah.
Like when I said I wasn't going to shop, that was when I thought I was going to spit this book out. It was going to be done. So that might have been a month. Girl, we 6 months in and I ain't shopped.
Yeah.
I was like, you know what? I'm in Miami. We're relaxing. How do I relax? I shop. Girl, we were about to put our clothes on from that beach and go shopping. And just like that, accountability. I was like, when I said I wanted to be held, I did not mean accountable.
I mean, but most of us, and when we think about doing the hard things, having the hard conversations, it is being held accountable.
Accountability.
Because we got to be held to the fire.
It's accountability. And it is honoring ourselves, right? Because that stuff that you're holding in, I mean, studies show us the science of the impact of stress on the body. And these conversations that we won't have, they are stressing us out.
Yeah.
We are on medication. We are having high blood pressure. Yep. We're even having strokes from all the trauma that we just won't address, that we could get out of if we simply spoke up and said the thing.
If we simply spoke up and said the thing. You said neuroscience is the cheat code, though.
It is. It is. And so what we know is when our prefrontal cortex shuts off, that's where our thinking happens. We're stuck. We're stuck with what's stored in our limbic system. And if we don't have the tools in our limbic system, when push comes to shove, we react. But the more you do something, it's like Steph Curry. He didn't just wake up one day and was like, I'm going to take that 3-point. That man has spent hours.
Yeah.
Years. If you put all the time he spent taking those shots all over the gym, years taking that shot. From
school,
childhood,
college.
You even saw his dad. His dad can do the same thing, right? So he learned it from his dad. He's been doing it for so long that when he's when the game-winning shot is required and he hits that line and he's looking at the buzzer, he doesn't even have to think about taking that half-court shot. It's in his limbic system. He's not thinking. He's not like wait, plant, gooseneck. He's like, boom.
Yeah. Not
even thinking about it. That's the brain science. If you get this stuff stored in the limbic system where you can do it without even thinking, when someone upsets you and you immediately go to, wait a minute, describe versus interpret. What really just happened there, right?
Yeah.
When it's stored there, it changes everything.
I mean, you talk about this DARE model, and you just described it. You started with with describe.
Mm-hmm.
And so, what's the simplest execution of the DARE model in everyday life, everyday conversation?
It's funny because when you start to do it, you do it without even thinking about it. It seems long at first, like, okay, describe versus interpret, acknowledge similarities without minimizing differences, review the narrative, accept it as fact, and engage for conversation, not conversion. But when it's in real life, you get to see it happen without going through all those steps mentally. So I'll give an example of when I messed it up. I'm a shopaholic. So I did a session at the Pentagon. So I leave the Pentagon, it had me stressed out. So I go over to Pentagon City Mall and I'm shopping. There's this man that's following me. And now, yes, he's not going in the stores. He's going to the store, stays outside, waits for me to come out, right? He does this for 3 stores. I go in the 3rd store, and I'm like, if this man does this for 1 more store, everybody in this mall gonna know he's following me. Walk out, he does it. Girl, I swing around. I'm like, man, in the blue polo shirt, khaki pants, and Cole Haan shoes, why are you following me? The man leaned in, and he was like, ma'am, I am not following you. You and my wife are going to the same stores. Devastated. I was mortified, right? And he is like beet red. Y'all.
He was white, too.
He was white.
Oh, Lord.
Let me tell you,
I know
though,
it was...
because I didn't use my own model, in my head, describe versus interpret, I pulled up the checklist of a serial killer. He checked all the boxes. And I was like, this man gonna kill me.
Polo shirt, Cole Haan
baby,
shoes,
khaki pants. I saw shopping bags. I was like, it's ropes in them bags. That man gonna throw me in the
He is
Potomac
gonna put me
River.
in a freezer.
Listen, I said, my mama not gonna be on Dateline talking about she was a good kid. No, not today. Not today, Satan. Now, mind you, because I didn't go through my own model, I didn't recognize the person that had the most danger for me was his wife. She was right next to me the whole time. She was getting dressed in the dressing rooms next to me. She was taking the same amount of time I was taking. Why are we so close on schedule that your husband can go from store to store and I don't even see you? But in that moment, I could have stopped and been like, wait a minute. You got time. You got time to figure out if this man is a serial killer or not. You have options aside from embarrassing all of us in this 12-story mall. Because now, my sister's like, sis, you all right? You good? You need me? Because I'm in D.C. now. Like, I got you, sis. I'm like, no, we good.
Yeah.
We good. But I could have simply gone through my own model, quick, fast, and in a hurry. Not dare, like, oh, wait, I got time. Describe. I just see a person with bags. He's got time. Look around. Observe. There's a woman he's with. Oh, he's getting more bags along the way. How is he collecting more bags? He didn't start with those same amount of bags, right? And so really quickly, you can go through the model just like that, just by stopping for 5 seconds and asking yourself some questions.
Yeah. How do we implement it in the workplace?
Oh, my gosh. This in the workplace is the cheat code, right? Because oftentimes we go into things with just our emotions and no data. You didn't promote me. I got overlooked again. Y'all disrespected me. Wait a minute. I didn't get promoted. Now I can ask the questions that are necessary. Let's acknowledge these similarities. You got good stuff, yes, but the issue we're talking about right now is the promotion. Review the narrative, accept it as fact. I should have been promoted. Is that true? Why is your view that I shouldn't have got promoted? Because I didn't get promoted. So there's something in you saying I shouldn't have done it. Why didn't that happen? Because I have a narrative about me that needs to be shaken because it's not getting me where I need to be. And then engage for conversation, not conversion. I'm not trying to convince you to promote me. I'm trying to converse with you about what I need to do to be the next promotion.
Oof. I mean, that's the part where so many people go wrong, is that why not me? But wait a minute, let me switch the narrative. Yeah.
And asking the right question. When you do this model, it helps you, because I tell people, the good people have all the right answers, but the great people ask all the right questions. When I ask the right question, it changes my outcome. Not why didn't you promote me, but how do I become the next promotion?
Yeah.
2 totally different answers. Because one tells you to look back, the other puts us looking forward.
Looking forward. I mean, I think that is what cripples all of us in relationship,
Absolutely.
No matter where it is, whether it's at home, whether it's in a workplace, is we spend so much time depressing ourselves because we are stuck in the past.
Yes.
When we could have an outlook towards the future. What does it look like?
Think about personally, why did you cheat on me versus how do I not get cheated on again? 2 different answers. Because now I'm looking back. So now I got to figure out what not to do the next time versus not be with you next time, right? You get 2 totally different answers when you ask the right question.
Well, That Don, listen, he said, "Wait a minute." That just listen, because there's a lot of people like, "Wait a minute, Dethra, ain't nobody about to be sitting up here asking that stupid shit." They gonna say it.
But you don't trust me for cutting off my cousin, but you about to get cheated on again because you asked the wrong question.
Okay, what's the question you should be asking to not get cheated on?
The question is, how do I not get cheated on again? And sometimes the answer you don't want to hear is not be with that person. That's the answer you don't want to hear, but you know the answer.
Yeah.
And sometimes the right question is the question you ask yourself, not the question you ask somebody else.
Yes.
Yeah.
That's the game changer right
Yeah.
there. What are you willing to ask yourself?
And that's why that R, review the narrative you've accepted as fact, is so critical, because many of us have accepted as fact things that are false.
Mm-hmm.
It's just like the example I often use is I tell people, go to Google and ask Google, when did women get the right to vote? And it'll tell you 1920. And that's a reliable source for most people. When the truth is, every woman did not get the right to vote until 1965. My grandma would tell you in 1940, I could not vote, right? But that's a reliable source. That's a narrative we've accepted as fact that's not factual. And so we have to do the same thing with ourselves. What have I believed about myself that I've accepted as fact that is not factual or is no longer factual? I see people walking around like a can of busted biscuits, baby. Your narrative is wrong. You are not that size anymore.
It's body positivity.
Yes, be positive in the right size. It's okay, whatever size you are, buy that size.
Buy
right?
that one.
But the narrative you accepted as fact is I'm still that size, and it used to be true.
Yeah.
In high school, you were that size. You now teach high school. We not that size no more. Review the narrative, and it'll change everything for you.
What makes someone more hireable in this market?
The people who can solve problems are the people you hire. And not just in this area, the people that can assess what's going on, because there are a lot of people that can assess, I can tell you what the problems are, but I need people that can solve problems and implement the solution to productivity. If you can improve my profits, my performance, and my productivity, I'm hiring you. And those people are the problem solvers.
Yeah. That doesn't have an age limit. That has an experience tag to it, correct?
It does not have an age limit, but it does. I know that people who have been historical problem solvers, there are people who are just natural born problem solvers. I've been that way my whole life. I'm like, if it's a problem, I have to stop myself like, Dethra, every problem is not something that needs to be solved, and it's not for you to solve.
Yeah.
Sometimes that person that's broke down on the road, you can ride past them. If they didn't get AAA, that's bad decision making. That's not for you to solve, right? But some people are just natural problem solvers, but others can learn it. If we test ourselves, find little things, and don't ask who else can solve this, you solve it, especially in the workplace. If I see people who are proactive problem solvers, I want to pour into them, even if they're not good at it yet. I see you have the skills to want to, I'll teach you. Mm-hmm.
The skill to want to.
Mm-hmm.
That has no age limit. That has no gender.
No.
That has no socioeconomic tag to it. That is a willingness and an open mind.
Absolutely. If you want to, that's half the battle. Because some people are like, let me get paid, do the bare minimum, and ask for the most.
Yeah.
And that's what I came here to do. I know people that are like, if I have to answer the phone one extra time, you need to pay me. But you want me to promote you. And most people get promoted to a job they're already doing or have already demonstrated they can do. Versus promote me and then I'll show you. Okay, that's never going to happen.
Yeah. I mean, I feel like in this creator culture, right? Everybody's a creator. Everybody's a content creator. Everywhere you go, somebody got a phone, a light. You know, how is this next generation going to become hireable? Because everybody's not going to be a content creator.
So everybody thinks they're going to go and make $9 million a year on YouTube.
They sure do.
It's not going.
They ain't doing it. They're not paying like that, Dethra.
Because we've been lied to, right?
Yeah.
Everybody sees and here's the thing, most of people are not dedicated enough or committed enough to make the money. The money is there to be made, but you don't even want to brush your teeth every day, let alone do content. These people live this in real life.
Yeah.
Like, I have a very good friend. She's a content creator, gets paid a lot of money to do endorsements. We go on a trip and I leave her half the time because I'm not about to sit with you and shoot this thing because that's your life.
Yeah.
When we're working those 8 hours a day, when you're working, they're shooting content. You won't even go live every day.
Yeah.
And you won't even sit down and edit. You won't learn editing because guess what? When you start off, you're not going to have a team to edit. It's going to be you and some software.
Yeah.
And you won't even learn that. And so a lot of people are lacking the commitment, but we see it in the workplace too.
Yeah.
They're lacking the commitment because, I'm not coming in early and leaving late. But the person that got the promotion you said you wanted, that's what they did.
Yeah.
The person whose job you say you want, I want my boss's job. Your boss live here.
Yeah.
And do you really want that job? Stop lying to yourself and say, I'm okay where I am because I'm not willing to do what it takes to do that.
I'm not willing to do what it takes to do that.
Mm.
Yeah.
And even like we're in this entrepreneur thing. You know how many, it looks good, y'all. You know how many days I'm like, I'm about to put these feet on OnlyFans. Because it gets tough out here. It gets hard out here, right? And so, like, no, you don't want it because there are days when the checks are great and there are days when I'm like, when is another check coming?
Yeah.
Are you committed enough to last through the when is the check coming?
Yeah. It's because it's not going to be sunny skies and rainbows every day. You are going to have to weather the storm. And I think most people don't have a commitment to weather the storm.
Yeah. And they have selective viewing, right? Because most of us are they're like, oh, you only put the highlight reels. No. We out there telling you when it ain't going good, too. But all you look at is the highlight reels.
Yeah.
All you look at is when I'm at the gala in my dress, but you didn't see me at the gym.
Yeah.
Because I'm like, listen, I have my busted days, and they are every morning at 7 a.m.
Every morning at 7 a.m. they say, Brandi, I look different.
Honey,
okay?
baby.
Listen, I walk in that gym every morning at 7 a.m.
Busted.
Listen.
If you saw me at the gym, you would let me walk right past you and wouldn't even know who I was. Because, baby, that ball cap is real.
Well, I don't have no ball cap on. You know, I be laying my edges in the morning. I do lay my edges down. But, you know, like I got on my sneakers and I got on my little outfit. And I be having a little matching little set now.
I'm matching.
Yeah.
But by the end, I'm sweating.
I look so crazy.
Oh, I look jacked up. And don't have my trainer have me on something on my head on the side like, you girl, this is natural hair. I didn't bring no lay down with me.
But that's the part because people look at the TED stages, they look at speaking all around the world, they look at the author, they look at all of these things, but there's a lot of work that goes on behind the scenes to be this version that you see.
I tell people I am a 20-year overnight success.
Yeah.
How did you end up speaking in South Africa? Because I spoke in South Carolina first.
Yeah.
I did the Chitlin circuit for the speakers, right? I did the breakout rooms. I did my due diligence. How did you end up on 4 TEDx stages? I was on stages before TEDx even knew who I was.
Yeah.
And there were times before they paid me, I would pay to go to places. I would be like, let me be a breakout speaker in this small room.
Yeah.
And then got noticed. Even the book, oh gosh, I want to write a book. Do you know, this is 15 years of research. Yeah. I didn't wake up one morning and say, you know what? I think I want to write a book on conflict management. I have a whole master's degree in conflict management. And then negotiations, and then mediations, and then teaching, and then being a professor. And there is so much and thens that came before a book.
Yeah. I mean, the wealth of knowledge that you have to be around you is like, I always feel like I'm unwrapping a new gift because there's so much more I learn about you every time we sit down and we spend time together. And I think that's what makes you so powerful. Oh. And you have never hesitated to open a door for your folks.
Absolutely. 100%.
You know, I'm at a summit in Vegas because Dethra says, hey, y'all want to go to this? And I reach out to them and they gonna give you the ticket about $2,500. Yeah, come on. Yeah. So let's do this.
I tell my friends, don't tell me what you want.
Yeah.
Because if you tell me what you want, I'm going to go get it. I'm a hustler. I know how to get it. And they tell me I want to be in corporate. Wait, got an opportunity. They call, Dethra, can you do this? Yes. Can you give me 3 extra tickets? Yes. Hey, I got you a ticket.
And and that's the thing. I think you continuously get win after win after win because you have never tried to hoard anything. You are always so freely saying, oh, hey, I can't do this. Can you come? They looking for a speaker. Can you come do it? You call me. You call Patrice. You call all the friends.
I'm gonna give a name.
Yeah.
Hey, if I can't do something, even if I'm like, hey, I can't do it, don't say no. But here are 3 people I trust. If you trust them, if you trust me, then trust them.
Yeah.
They're good for it. I'm always going to, and here's the deal. After every keynote speech I get, I always send a thank you video and I say, here are 3 other speakers you may want to consider for your next event.
Ooh,
Every
that
single
is
time.
so good.
Every single time. Sometimes it pans out. They're like, okay, because one of the biggest deals that they have is finding good people. So if someone does that for them, they're like, boom. Every single time I give them 3 names. Here's someone based on the event. I know the event. I know what type of speaker they're looking for. Here are the people you should consider for your next event.
Yeah, that's so good. I think more people would see bigger wins in their life if they open up their hands and their heart to share with others. Yeah.
And here's the deal. Doing that, people will come to me even if they don't think I'm the speaker. Like, Dethra, we're looking for a speaker for XYZ. And there are times when I'm like, I can do that. I would be a great speaker. Oh, good. Let's do it. Other times I'm like, yeah, here's some people that I think would be great for that.
Yeah. Dethra, as we close out, one word you're committed to in this season of your life.
What is my one word? It's crazy because I knew you were going to ask this and I still don't have my word. It's like, it's coming. You know what? My one word is ask.
Ooh.
It's ask.
That's good.
So I've spent a lot of time in my life pouring into others, and I never want anyone to think that I take our relationship for granted, so I don't ask. And like, even with you, I wouldn't have ever asked to come on here. You had to say, but I'm like, that's my girl.
I was like, you talking about the book in the group chat, and I'm like, you want to come on the show and talk about it? And you're like, yes.
Yes. So ask is like, you've built enough, you've poured enough, you planted enough, you put enough seeds in the ground, and you've helped enough people that everyone knows that you're genuine when you do ask. They know that you're not abusing their relationship. So it's time for me to start asking.
Ooh, that is so good.
Mm-hmm.
In this new year, I think more people need to ask for what they want and get their heart's desires. Dethra, it has been a pleasure. Super friend in the building. I so enjoyed this. Vault Empowers Talks, another good one for the books. Be sure to share this with somebody who needs to up their ask in this season. Until next time, I'm your girl, Brandi Harvey. Eat well, give a damn, move your body every single day. Peace.